Hello fellow adventurers of Midgard, your main man Zero here. Guys, the Crisis Dungeons are almost gone here. We have about 48 hours remaining. I had an amazing run that I want to share with you guys, and I'll show you guys my build, and hopefully you guys can make it to the best of your abilities. I was having crazy struggles with this dungeon until I followed these steps. Hopefully this helps you guys out to get your S+ ranking. Let's hop in. Alright guys, let's go to our solo content, our dungeons, our Crisis Dungeons. See, as you guys can see, I managed to get S+ on both of the Abandoned Factory and the Sunshine Cave. The Sunshine Cave is the one that I had the most difficulty with. I just managed to get that S+ ranking today. Here is my build, so you can see my high score, a crazy, almost a 900,000, guys. I was blown away by the scores when I took this particular path. So the team I have is Cloud, Aerith, and Sephiroth, all respectively going to their own strong suits, right? So we got Cloud now with his fire build, but I do have the Mirasami because there are some enemies in this run that are weak to lightning, so that was a fantastic weapon to have in this fight. And his new weapon for fire damage and his new garb with Ifrit as his summon. Aerith, just pure heals, guys, and then of course I'm giving her Rama summon so that way she can support as well. She didn't need the heal summon just because she was able to do tons and tons of heals with Fairy Tail. And Sephiroth doing his Ice God build, so he has his Ice Garb, he has his Edgewing, and I got the new weapon as well, so I put that on him so that way he can debuff fire and debuff P defense for Cloud in order to be able to do even more damage. And of course with Shiva Diamond Dust as the summon. When it comes to the materia, we mostly have stat sticks, but as well I try to keep within the sigils just because there are quite a bit of phase changes in this fight, like sigil areas that gotta break. So I needed to make sure I had triangle and I needed to make sure that I had circle. Those are super important in these battles. So you can see I kept HP relatively low. It wasn't my focus point here. My focus was actually DPS as much as possible. This was mostly a DPS race. So I got my P attack for Cloud up to 3,628. For equipment, you guys can see the same equipment that I had in the front screen. And my sub equipment's all attack, 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 because I was able to hit all of my P attack damage based off those two weapons. Next up we have Aerith. Aerith, again, just pure heals at 2,200 and some change. I kept her magic tech a little bit higher just so that way Rama can do it just a little bit more damage, but she is specifically heal built, and even her materia is all heal focused as much as possible. I did try to make sure that I maintained having those two sigils, the triangle and the circle. Her sub equipment is all heal, 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 and some magic tech just so Rama can do some more damage. And then of course we have Sephiroth with his ice build, so his magic attack is a crazy 3,100 and some change, and P attack is actually quite high as well, and the P attack comes a lot from his secondary weapon because that is a physical attack weapon. His materia is all stat, and then I put a fire materia on there as well so he can do some fire damage, as the second equipment is not a fire attack, it's a physical attack. So his sub equipment is just magic attack and overall attack, because that way we can max it. Alright, let's now go into the run. Guys, this is a pre-recording, but I will provide commentary. Alright, so loading all up here. Okay, heading down the stairs as usual. Yep, pick up the equipment. So one thing that a lot of people don't realize is there are little baddies here. So it's a great way to get your attack and unison up. So definitely do that. Try to build your limit breaks as well. So these guys are weak to lightning, and ice does a decent amount of damage to them as well. So I'm pretty much doing the majority of these battles on pure auto. So if I can do it on pure auto, guys, if you are going to be doing it on semi or on manual and you're really good at that, I think you got this. Aerith with her fantastic heal kicking in. So you guys can see I'm in attack and I should be able to hit full unison before this battle is over. So here you notice that I kind of like doubled up on damage. I definitely could have stopped one of them from doing an attack like that. Maybe switching over to Sephiroth and saving that ATB. Okay, now on to the first big baddie. Yeah, so you notice my ATB is pretty good. I managed to get a return there. And the HP is all relatively good. First baddie up. So this guy is weak to lightning and I believe to ice. Actually, no, maybe just lightning. And he is immune to magic attack, or sorry, magic defense down. Don't use snow spell or any debuffers. Here, my characters did, of course, try to break the sigils, and this is exactly why you needed the circle, right? So the circle sigils in order to take this down as quickly as possible. And then once that's down, you'll notice Aerith did take quite a bit of damage here, right? But once the sigil breaks, she'll be able to heal herself up to full. There we go. And everybody else gets a nice heal too. There you go. So I got 2 summons up, and my third one is in there too. Perfect. So now I am fully set to being able to spam a summon per each of the next battles, guys. It made a big difference. Okay, good job, team. So on to the next battles, guys. We're going to get the treasure chests first. Here, I'm not doing any P attack and magic attack downs, so that didn't work for me. I just went to get the damage. I did pick up the chest. So there are 3 different fights that you can do in this area. I found them all to be relatively difficult, but I found that the outcome, like the actual stats and stuff that you can get from defeating the bosses, this is the one that they kind of direct you in. Right, so definitely this is the first time I tried doing this particular step-by-step. Before I was doing like the Galber first or the other guys first, and I wasn't getting as much luck. So I did what I thought was a little bit counterintuitive, but it turned out to be a huge benefit. So we're going to give Fire Cocktail to, or sorry, Blizzard Cocktail to Sephi, because these baddies are weak to both electric and ice. So I've given Aerith a Thunder Cocktail as well. So it's basically going to be just going in using my summons as quickly as possible. Basically, I don't want to get hit by the poison, right? The poison is brutal, guys, and it always is, right? It'll be a game changer once they give us Insuna all. Sheesh. Okay, so Arama is going to be going first here. Take out the baddies, right? And just an okay amount of damage, because of course Aerith doesn't have a lot of magic tech and physical tech, so it didn't do too much. But Shiva does a massive damage hit right there, and then from there we are able to just take him out really quickly. All right, both Sephi using his ice weapon and Cloud using his Mirasami. Boom, done, guys. That was a really quick, lost very little HP. Okay, so now that we have those 2 battles completed, we're going to go down and do the Gilberator. So he's quite challenging, but of course now we do have our summons up still for Cloud, so his fire one. So here I'm actually going to use the fire potency in order to do even more damage to him, and I believe I also use a fire potency potion, so that way Cloud does even more fire damage. Guys, it was so relieving to be able to do this much damage, right? So my HP is still in a really good state. Didn't feel like I had to heal at all. So first thing that we have to realize when it comes to this battle, guys, you want to either keep your mouse on the state changes. So you want to go into defense as soon as humanly possible, or keep your hand on the mouse, or sorry, on the keyboard, on the spacebar, so you can switch right away. Or of course, if you're using it on the phone, tap away. Get that phase change to defense, because he doesn't attack right off the bat, and it can hurt a lot. Then from here, I'm actually going to wait just a little bit, do a debuff with Aerith, and actually allow Sephiroth to do his debuff from his sword. Boom. That way, both are there, and then I use Hellfire. It does a crazy amount of damage, guys. Look at that. More than half taken off immediately. I am able now, from this point, to be able to take him out, and he's stunned, right? Because I managed to take out his bar, and Cloud is able to just finish him off with fire attacks. And of course, we have Fura on Sephiroth just to do a little bit more damage. Done. So nice. Such a clean run so far, guys. So the next kind of step that I took, I think you might find pretty interesting. Of course, now, so you'll notice the benefit that you can get here is actually 30% increase to ice damage, while fire and lightning go down. This is why I did the other fight first, because we needed those specific elements. Otherwise, you would have had to do the third option, right? The 20%. But this one gave me a better damage output for the last fight. Okay, from here, we're going to go up north, and, we could go to the big guy, but actually, thinking about it, there are mobs, poison dogs, guys, that are just hiding around this corner, And if you are not ready for them, they can take you out really quickly. So what I did is I did this now because I know they're a little bit weaker because we haven't finished 4 or 5 battles or whatever. Or 4, we haven't finished yet 4 battles. And so they're a little bit weaker and my HP was in a really good state. I'm like, okay, let's take these guys out now before things get a little bit hairy. And sure enough, we're able to take them out really quickly with no problems. There is poison on all of us, but that's okay. We survived it thanks to Aerith and her heals. This also gave us a chance to build our summons even a little bit further. Okay, now that that fight is done, let's go back and do the last remaining non-boss battle. So that's these guys right down here. Okay, and so you'll notice that their weakness is fire. So, hey, look at Cloud. Yeah, of course, yeah, heal all the way, right, with the cottage. But I use a fire cocktail on Cloud, and as well as I use just one of my summon gauge increases. So with the summon gauge increase, Cloud is fully stocked. So he got his damage from his fire cocktail, getting his summon charge up all the way to 100%. Well, actually, just a little under 100%. So because I needed to build it just a little more, I actually gave him more ATB. So that way he could use, one ability just enough, just so he can get off that, get that little bit more summon gauge up. And of course, in this battle, I make sure that I select the middle guy and I use Aerith's magic defense down. Because even though Aerith's Cloud is a physical attacker, the summons, at least these ones, are strong against both elemental types, so they actually combine damage. So with that decrease, he was able to do even more damage to them. So there you go, managed to get that summon up with just one attack, and it takes out the mobs, and it does a massive amount of damage to the main guy right there. So that's just one more attack from Cloud, and he is donezo. It was so clean. All right, and that's all of it for all the little guys, right? So now we have a nice safe walk all the way to our last battle. And of course here I choose physical attack up because Cloud is a physical attack damage dealer, right? With his new sword. So definitely go physical attack. Yeah, head south. There we go. So here, I just take a look at the enemy again, make sure I understand what debuffs he is gonna be affected by and what resistances he has. So we know that he's weak to ice, but resistant to lightning. So what we're gonna go do is we're going to use a summon gauge. Basically gonna load up on items, guys. But really, I didn't need to. I really didn't need to load up on items so much. I was just being very safe, right? Because the run was so clean already, and I did not want to lose it. So here I'm actually taking Cloud's summon up just one notch, and that way if I need to use it, it builds quite quickly. So that's another one of the ones that I really didn't need to use those items. And then I use a supplement, or rather a potion, on Aerith just to put her heals up a little higher. And of course I use the elemental damage potions as well. So here, like usual, I just make sure I click on Reno, I make sure I magic debuff him, and then I use my summons. Boom, boom. Perfect. It takes a bit to hit, but it hits really good. And done. And that was before he actually managed to get Pyramid on any one of my characters. Which is good because he ends up using it on Aerith. See, so his mobs are done, his ads, and his damage was tanked. And you'll notice here, Circle Sigil, guys. So I know that Cloud was able to do my X, and everybody else had Circle, so I was nice and safe. And then here we go. Sephiroth's going to end it. That was an amazing run. Hopefully watching this helps you guys complete your runs as well. And follow these steps, follow this battle rotation. I think you'll be surprised of how much damage you're able to do. Okay, guys. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Hey, Sephiroth's coming back. I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.